Hey you guys, here is my part one of my meal planning and meal prepping process. So what I do every week, I schedule it into my calendar as to when I'm going to sit down and do some planning and some brainstorming around my meal planning for the week. It's really important to put this down on your calendar and make it happen, because I know for me, when I do not plan, that kind of leads me to running to the store and grabbing whatever kind of sounds convenient. And I usually end up wasting money, making choices that aren't really that healthy, and really just feeling kind of overwhelmed and scattered. So I prioritize my planning and I put it in my calendar. Usually this is on a Thursday or a Friday. I just happen to be doing it on a Sunday today. So I will walk you through what I do. What I first do is I do inventory. So that means I look in my fridge, I say, what do we got going on in here? What can we use? What needs to be used really soon? And then I kind of work from there. So I do an inventory of the fridge. So I see, I already have some eggs. I've got lots of eggs. I love eggs. They're great protein. I have a whole bunch of chopped up watermelon, so that's great. Hot dogs for the kiddos for like an easy lunch. I've got a big bag of romaine lettuce. I love getting these at BJ's. I actually have some fresh veggies. I got some fresh beans that I picked from my garden. All sorts of stuff. I've got a thing of the 000 Greek yogurt. This is a great protein. So I've got lots of stuff already in here. I need to make sure that I'm using it in my meal plan. Along with that, I like to check in for like accessories, right? So like healthy fats. So I have feta cheese. Feta is great. I'll put that on a salad probably. I've got butter. I have peanut butter. I have actually from my garden some amazing peppers and a cucumber and cheese. All great things. Those are awesome as snacks. I'll chop those up. The kids love to eat those. I love to eat them. Throw them in an omelet. Great. And then I've got, dressings, I've got oils, I've got mayo, all that stuff. I move then to the freezer, and I like to take a peek on what we're working with in here. So I have frozen chicken breasts. I love to have those always on stock. I've got a bunch of these, like these are sausages for breakfast. The kids love those. I've got like kid-friendly chicken nuggets. These are frozen blueberries. These are great in shakes. I have frozen ground turkey. I'm gonna actually I might take this out and let it defrost because I think that's gonna go into my meal plan. And then let's see, what else do we have? Oh, frozen, I always have frozen broccoli and frozen cauliflower in my freezer. It's part of kind of like my emergency ingredients to always have on hand. So I have taken a look at this. Usually what I'll do is I'll like write some things down. If I'm like, ooh, I really wanna use, obviously I'll use eggs. I almost use eggs every single day. I'll have them for breakfast. It's like my staple breakfast. It's a good tip to have a staple meal just so you can really simplify your life. It's okay to eat the same meal every day. Some people are like, you have to really diversify. Here's what I think. If it's helping you stay on track to be healthy and you feel good from it, it's okay to repeat it, right? Like you're not just eating, eggs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 24/7. You're maybe having eggs, for breakfast every day, but maybe you're cooking with coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil. Maybe you're adding in some cheese. Maybe you're chopping up pepper or onion, right? You can diversify it. But don't be afraid to have some things that are the same. It makes life so much easier. Okay, then I move to my pantry. So a lot of this is going to be how I'm gonna diversify and make my meals good and delicious. So I've got lots of different seasonings in here. I'm sure if you don't know, now you know. Everything but the bagel seasoning is amazing. I love throwing that onto actually like my vegetables, right? Like I'll drizzle a little bit of coconut oil or olive oil onto like steamed vegetables and then put that seasoning on. Yum. I always have coconut oil on hand. Always, always, always. And it's the flavor kind. There's like a non-flavor. I don't like that. I like it when it kind of tastes a little coconutty. If you don't have to. I always have extra virgin olive oil. And then down here, I kind of just check to see. I like to have like things like crushed tomatoes, and I make sure that there's no extra sugar added or like weird stuff. I always look at the ingredients. And so these ingredients are crushed tomatoes and citric acid and basil. Awesome. I'll take it. Citric acid is like just a preservative that's like super natural and healthy. It's fine. Okay, so other than that, we've got some other things. There's different options in here. I always have options, and so it helps me. Sometimes, like, I have, like, pumpkin, like, pureed pumpkin in here. I haven't used it yet, but I know there's a good recipe. Like, I could, if I wanted to, like, whip something up and just Google, like, what to do with pumpkin puree, you know what I mean, and look for a healthy recipe. I use canned chicken breast also. Some people think that's kind of weird. This is a super convenient staple when it comes to just having like lean proteins around rather than having like fresh chicken in the fridge. You know, I always have eggs and I always have like a can of this. And I've got beans and all sorts of stuff. So, and then down here, I also have like things like pastas. Like I get like this whole grain pasta. The kids don't know the difference. They'll eat it. Yeah, and it's great. It's lower on the glycemic index, so it's not going to affect your blood sugar like the white pasta would, right? So strive to get like whole grain, wheat, you know, things like that include fiber, because fiber is so key. When you're talking about your carbohydrates, you want to have a high count of fiber. And so if you look at the servings and you're looking at the nutritional label, and you see there are, so there's 39 grams of carbs in this, 39 grams, okay? All right, in a serving, that's quite, you know, that's carbs. And then from that, there are 7 grams of carbs. That's a great ratio. So it's like 40 grams to 7. So what you wanna really look for is for every 10 grams of carbohydrates, there's like 2 grams of fiber, if that makes sense. So if you can do it that way, that's great. Like 1 to 2 grams of fiber for every 10 grams. So if that's 40 grams and there's 7 grams of fiber, if you run it up to 8 grams, then that's a good choice, if that makes sense. I also like to have things like this, like Mirabelle loves wraps. So these are just an easy solution, again, for like an easy lunch for the kids. I eat wraps sometimes too, but I know my little one loves them. And then guys, you'll see things that aren't necessarily like super healthy in my house. Like we're completely out of syrup. I don't use this on the regular, but my kids like to have, you know, waffles every once in a while, and I will do that. But that is not gonna go into my meal plan, right? That's not something that I'm planning and prepping for and being like, oh, well, we're gonna use, you know, the syrup like every day of the week. No, like that is something that we enjoy once in a while. Like that's, you know, we have the 80-20 rule, right? So 80% of the time you wanna be eating healthy, eating well, striving for those whole foods, things that come from the earth, things that are of nature, right? So the vegetables, the healthy fruits, the healthy fats and nuts and grains and lean proteins and all of that, that's what we should be striving to eat. And then that 20% of the time, which is gonna you don't even need to plan for it, it's gonna happen. But it's okay to plan for it and be like, you know what? On Saturday night, we're gonna make a real yummy meal and then we're gonna have dessert. Like that's okay. You know, do that and enjoy it, right? The key to this is long-term sustainability so that you can make it a lifestyle, you can enjoy it, right? You're not depriving yourself. And it just becomes a way of life versus, you know, a short-term, well, we're gonna try this diet on. You know, it's like, well, this is just how we live. This is how I live. I meal plan, I go do my inventory, and now I'm gonna start my list. I'm gonna create my meal plan, and then I'm gonna put it into a grocery list, go to the store, go shopping, come back home, and start my prepping. And for me, I like to prep for, you know, the entire week, or I'll do it like in smaller batches, like I'll do for like a couple days, and then I'll do another meal prep after I'm all done with that. And do it for another couple days. So that's part one. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you soon.